Well, good evening. This is Hound Dog Steve coming to you on the 17th of September, which is a Monday evening. And there is a little article that I'm going to read to you, and then I'm going to show you a clip. And this is probably the most terrifying clip that I have seen in an awful long time. Anyway, the article is "No Consensus on Killer Bots." Russia and the US are blocking resolutions at deadly robot conference. Geneva, a key opponent of high-tech automated weapons known as killer robots, is blaming countries like the US and Russia for blocking consensus at the UN-backed conference, where most countries wanted to ensure that humans stay at the controls of lethal machines. Coordinator Mary Wareham of the Campaign to Stop Killer Robots spoke Monday after experts from dozens of countries agreed before dawn Saturday at the UN in Geneva on 10 possible guiding principles about such lethal automated weapons systems. Point 2 of the proposed guidelines says human responsibility for decisions on the use of weapons systems must be retained, since accountability cannot be transferred to machines. Wareham said such language wasn't binding, adding that it's time to start laying down some rules now. Members of the Laws Conference will meet again in November. Now, when you see this clip and you realise how far this technology has come and how deadly this technology is and who this technology is available to, I mean, one actually wonders whether regulation is of any use whatsoever, because these AI weapons, smart weapons, are so cheap to purchase. Okay, they're not that complicated, and they're almost a child's toy, except they have been weaponized. And it's absolutely amazing. And the other thing I'm amazed at is that, America and Russia are holding out on these kind of regulations. Why would you want fully autonomous AI weapons at your disposal? AI is, yes, it can think fast, it can move fast, and it can outmaneuver just about anything that it comes in contact with. However, it cannot make a critical judgment beyond the parameters of what its programming has told it to seek and destroy. And because of that, there is no nuance. There's no accidents. What happens if you have, for example, somebody trying to infiltrate something else and they're dressed up as an enemy soldier in order to cross lines, and the AI mistakes it? There is room for all kinds of error in this. And of course, the other question is, I don't know if you noticed. Wait a minute, let's watch the clip first, and then I'll finish this off and ask a couple of questions that I think we should be asking about this kind of stuff. Okay, here we go.
Customer pilots directed almost 3,000 precision strikes last year. We're super proud of it. It allows you to separate the bad guys from the good. It's a big deal. But we have something much bigger. Your kids probably have one of these, right? Not quite. Hell of a pilot? No. That skill is all AI. It's flying itself. Its processor can react 100 times faster than a human. The stochastic motion is an anti-sniper feature. Just like any mobile device these days, it has cameras and sensors, and just like your phones and social media apps, it does facial recognition. Inside here is 3 grams of shaped explosive. This is how it works. Did you see that? That little bang is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents. They used to say guns don't kill people, people do. Well, people don't. They get emotional, disobey orders, aim high. Let's watch the weapons make the decisions. Now, trust me, these were all bad guys. Now, that is an airstrike of surgical precision. It's one of a range of products. Trained as a team, they can penetrate buildings, cars, trains, evade people, bullets, pretty much any countermeasure. They cannot be stopped. Now, I said this was big. Why? Because we are thinking big. Watch. A $25 million order now buys this. Enough to kill half a city. The bad half. Nuclear is obsolete. Take out your entire enemy, virtually risk-free. Just characterize him, release the swarm, and rest easy. These are available today. We have a distribution network taking orders from military, law enforcement, and specialist clients.
The nation is still recovering from yesterday's incident, which officials are describing as some kind of automated attack, which killed 11 U.S. senators at the Capitol building.
They flew in from everywhere but attacked just one side of the aisle. It was chaos. People were screaming.
You can see high windows, very small, precisely punctured to gain entry to the building.
What did you do for the victim?
I just did what I could for him. Things weren't even interested in me. They're just buzzing.
Government sources admit the intelligence community has no idea who perpetrated the attack, nor whether it was a state, group, or even a single individual.
So if we can't defend ourselves, then we strike back.
We are investing very heavily in classified defense projects.
We make it our deterrent like our nuclear deterrent. We stockpile in the millions, the billions.
At key facilities, the White House, the New York Stock Exchange, Wall Street.
Safe in their homes.
Well, we wish we had boots on the ground in every community in this country, but we don't. So our instructions
Ollie?
and our suggestions are to stay in touch with your...
Ollie, oh, hi. Hi, Ollie, honey. How's Edinburgh today? How are all your studies going, huh?
Good. Great.
Oh, great. Hey, aren't we doing a video call today?
I'm kind of with people, so...
Oh, well, come on, Oliver, put her on.
Oh, no, it's not like that. No, wait.
Oh, well, listen, I see some photos here with somebody, and I can see lots of likes, and what's that all about? Oh, wait a minute, here, and on your...
Mom, she's on the spy stuff in the military?
What is this video right here? Oh, no, I'm not going to click on that.
It's just this, human rights thing about, oppression or whatever.
Honey, you're not going into politics, are you? I mean, no protest march.
Safe here, just like you said it would be.
Heavy traffic approaching the A720 this morning due to police...
Police are not saying this morning what prompted the alert.
Claim relaxing firearm legislation would be useless against the so-called slaughter bots.
Just to stay away from crowds. When indoors, keep windows covered with shutters.
Protect your family. Stay inside.
Can you hear me? Oliver, can you hear me? Listen to me.
I can hear it.
Authorities are still struggling to make sense of an attack on university campuses worldwide, which targeted some students and not others. The search for a motive is apparently turning to social media, and a video shared by the victims exposing corruption at the height.
But it's far from surprising. The weapons took away the expense, danger, and risk of waging war. And now we can't afford to challenge anyone, really. It's not even the smallest fringe group or a crank.
Who could have done this?
Anyone.
Dumb weapons drop where you point them. Smart weapons consume data. When you can find your enemy using data, even by a hashtag, you can target an evil ideology right where it starts.
This short film is more than just speculation. It shows the results of integrating and miniaturizing technologies that we already have. I'm Stuart Russell, a professor of computer science at Berkeley. I've worked in AI for more than 35 years. Its potential to benefit humanity is enormous, even in defense. But allowing machines to choose to kill humans will be devastating to our security and freedom. Thousands of my fellow researchers agree. We have an opportunity to prevent the future you just saw, but the window to act is closing fast.
Okay, now that you've seen that clip, I don't know if you noticed that they're talking about, removing ideologies, violent ideologies, and that they actually went into universities and killed students who were members of a group. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed the young lad there in the human rights thing, and they get taken out by these drones. Who decides what is right and wrong? Remember, as far as the communists were concerned, every capitalist was the enemy. And as far as the capitalists were concerned, every communist was the enemy. So the truth depends on whose hands it lies in. Okay, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. So by letting loose these dogs of war, remember, your enemy can do exactly the same thing. I think this is the most dangerous thing that I have seen in such a long time because of the openness of interpretation. You have two political parties going against each other. Well, just look at the Democrats and the Republicans. I think that either side right now would feel somewhat justified in using that kind of measure against their opponent because it's become so radically opposed to each other. This polarization is a very dangerous thing, and these weapons are very dangerous things in the wrong hands, and that kind of money, $25 million can take out half a city, the bad half, and a precision strike. All you need is a hashtag, a little piece of DNA. Actually, it reminds me of one of the series in Black Mirror called Nation's Most Hated. Very interesting, and there's lots of similarities. Lots of similarities about AI and who controls that AI. Anyway, food for thought. Think about that, and think about not so much who you are opposed to, but the fact that if you are opposed to them, there is a good chance that they are opposed to you. And maybe, a peace pipe, or a shaking of hands, or an open discussion on these things that are of danger to all of us is maybe a worthwhile thing. Okay, so you take care. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe below, and we will talk to you real soon. See you now. Bye.